Hi there, I'm Kathleen McGiveron, and in this episode we're going to be talking about what is the difference between acrylic painting and oil painting. So let's dive in on this episode and let's get her inspired. Alright, so first, in general, acrylic painting is fast drying, it's water soluble, and you can change the texture of your acrylic paints with different mediums. Like you can get granular mediums, you can get fluid mediums, you can get mediums that do cracking and all kinds of weird different things. And that is a fun thing that is associated with acrylic painting. You can get modeling paste and make it really build up the surface of whatever you're painting on. So that is a really cool option for your acrylic painting. Again, it's water soluble, so you can wash it just with water. It's not toxic. When you read your labels, I'm not reading my titanium white, and it's not saying anything bad. It has zinc oxide to make the, well, I guess it's zinc white, not titanium white. Anyways, I'm not reading any like disturbing things on my labels when I'm looking at my acrylics, like health warnings. There's no fumes. It doesn't have a smell. Oh, it has an acrylic smell. I like that smell though. Now it's on my finger and I do need to get rid of that. If I touch my black outfit here, although it is my, oh gosh, and now it's everywhere. Anyways, I don't have to worry about it getting on my hands and be like, oh my god, I'm absorbing it through my skin! So that's a cool thing about acrylic paint. What else? I think that's just basically it. Acrylic paint, you can wash it with water, you can thin it and change the texture with mediums, and when you're done, you just go to your sink, wash it out with some soap, and let your brushes dry pointing to the sky or flat on the ground, and you're good to go. And yeah. Now the difference is number 2, oil painting. When you transition from acrylic to oil painting and you're actually doing the painting part, it feels the same. It doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, this is so different. Oh, it's a completely different process. It kind of is, but like if you've painted before, switching from acrylic to oil, there's no humongous difference. In terms of understanding color theory or actually understanding how to paint, that is all transferable. And also the actual painting process is very similar. What is different is acrylic painting dries fast. Then within the same day sometimes, your painting will be ready to add another layer. The next day of this especially, whereas oil paint could take days to dry. Or if you add liquid original, it could dry overnight if you wanted it to. But you can get a longer working process. So if you're professionally painting and you want to work on it over days, you can do that. You have that option. You do not have that option in acrylics. And sometimes you'll be painting for a long time and then you'll notice that the paint is kind of drying while you're painting. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is not blending. It's kind of getting goopy. The surface is no longer workable. You gotta let it dry before you cut and then come back after and then start the next layer. Whereas with oil, that just doesn't happen. You can go work in your studio, leave it, come back the next day, your palette and your painting are still wet. Then you can go back, come back the third day, your painting and your palette are still wet. Right? And that is not true to acrylic. So that was one difference. Another difference is that I find that oil painting is a lot more opaque than acrylic painting, which I find needs a lot more layers to build up opacity. I also think that the color saturation is a lot more vibrant with oils versus some of the acrylic paints, even working at the professional paint level quality. What else? Oh yeah, you cannot wash your oil paints with water yet. So what I do is I rinse it off in mineral spirits first. Odorless mineral spirits, not turpentine. No. If you've watched Bob Ross and he's that is severely toxic. Yeah. highly toxic. And then him whacking it on his easel like that and it's splashing up all those particles. It says not to do that. It says even on the mineral spirits to not aerosol it, because then it's in droplet form that can go into your body, right? You don't want to touch it. So, and then the other thing is that when you look at some of the oil paints, it does say, like this one says, toxic to aquatic life with long-lasting effects on it. So if it's toxic to aquatic life, it means that I don't want to touch it either. This is titanium white. And cadmium red and cadmium yellow probably are toxic because it has cadmium in it. So don't get it on your hands. You'll see lots of artists with gloves on if they're touching. I don't try not to touch it at all. And then if I need to, my studio is ventilated, so you should be working in a ventilated surface anyways. My studio is built as a studio, so I have ventilation in it because I'm sitting beside my kiln, touching it right now. Yeah, which I obviously move around everything in order to fire, but I have a proper ventilation for this. I also have a spray booth in my studio. Like and I have windows and doors. Like for me, I have built this knowing that I'm going to be working here as an artist. I also have a respirator, so if I am really concerned about some health effects, or I want to be mindful of not getting cancer, anyways, not that you're going to touch this one time and get cancer or any crazy stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that prolonged use and exposure is not healthy, and it says on the tubes. This is not, and I'm not saying this to make you scared of using it. I do not sit here in my studio and paint with my respirator on or my gloves, although I see a lot of artists doing that. I'm not sure why. Maybe you have an idea, and maybe they're just worried about it, and then you can let me know in the description of below the video. Maybe I should be worried. I don't know. Should I be? Should I be worried? Should I be more concerned? Anyways, but just be mindful that you should not be touching the paint, inhaling it, spraying it. I'm pretty sure it says do not spray for this reason. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not lying about the cancer thing also. It says, warning, this product contains a chemical known to the states of California to cause cancer. So just don't touch it. Don't eat it, don't inhale it, don't let kids touch it, inhale it, eat it, all that jazz. It's not like tempera paint for kids, where if they, kids are like, ha ha ha. Just kidding, they don't do that, but maybe they do. If they were to, it's okay. If it got on their table and they ate their lunch at school, it's okay. If I got this on my sandwich and then ate it, it's not okay. That's my point. Okay, moving on. I'm stuck on that. I just don't want you to think I'm a wingnut and that I'm making this up. I just want you to be also aware and not be a wingnut and play with it on your face. Anyways, so wash with water, acrylic painting. Wash with mineral spirits, then artist soap and water for oil painting to clean your brush. That's how you get the oil pigment off. I put some Gambling Gamsol mineral spirits into my container for oil paints. Swirl my brushes around, take off the oil to clean it. My acrylic painting brushes, I just walk inside, rinse it in the sink with soap and water, dry it. All right, my question for you is, what do you work with? Do you work with acrylic painting or paints, or do you work with oil, or are you trying to transition from one to the other? Let me know in the comment section below the video. All right, number 4 is oil paints compared to acrylic paints are more durable. So compared to acrylics, they are just a lot more durable. They are mixed with oil. They take a lot longer to dry, but in the end, they are a lot more durable compared to acrylics. 5 I wrote down is thicker versus thinner. So I find that this is just a thicker medium to work with. The paintbrushes are also a lot firmer. Like if I look at my acrylic brushes, I find them a lot firmer. Oh, I don't know what this is coming off. This is dust. Maybe I shouldn't do that. It's a lot firmer brushes to move a thicker medium around, which you can thin, not with water, but with mediums such as linseed oil, or which will again make it dry slower, or if you want to make it dry faster, you mix it with like a liquid original. This one is, yeah, oil. And then I think that oil paint is also more opaque. Like I think I said this already. Acrylic seems to be a little thinner, a little bit more translucent, whereas oil is a little bit heavier and a lot more opaque, just in working with it. Not huge difference, but that's slight differences. Number 6 is acrylic is pretty non-toxic. Again, like I'm not reading a bunch of warning signs on my acrylic paints, whereas on the oil colors, I am. And I'm not sure if I have a titanium white in the other. I think I just had the zinc white. Anyways, what's this one say? Black. Anyways, any of my acrylics that I'm looking at don't have any death symbols on them. There's no poison. They're not like danger, you're gonna die if you eat this. So they're more not toxic. I still wouldn't eat it. I still would wash my hands. But if I actually were like put my paintbrush in my mouth, I'm not sure why, or put it in my drink and I didn't realize it and didn't drink the water. I'm not sure why I would do that either. Just in like a weird worst case scenario. I'm gonna worry less with my acrylic paint than my oil paint. Then I would actually be like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? All right, and then, oh yeah, acrylic base is acrylic medium base, and then oil has oil in it, like legit. If you look at the oil paint, it says is pigment, PW6 and PW4, and the vehicle is safflower oil, or some of them will be pigment, number, linseed oil. It's literally a pigment mixed with oil. That's what makes oil paint. And acrylic is produced with acrylic polymer dispersion. I feel like there's one second. Let's see if I can find one that has more information. Acrylic paints are made with 100% acrylic resin. I feel like I saw one had more ingredients. Heavy body acrylics, golden. Oh, this one says a cancer warning too. This product contains a chemical known to the state of California to cause cancer, and that's in acrylic. See? Don't eat your paints! I was wrong. There is a cancer warning on this one. Don't touch your paints. Maybe I should be more cautious of my paints when I'm painting. Anyways, oh, here we go. Pigment, so PBK9 with produced by charring animal bones. What? Ivory black? Is that why it's called ivory black? It literally says that. Okay, 1, never looked at the back of it. 2, it says this product contains acrylic golden, known to the state of California cause cancer. And 3, it's produced by charring animal bones. I wonder what vegans think of if they're painting. Vegans, I want to know, what is your opinion with some, I mean, obviously not every single one is made by charring animal bones, but what's your thought on that? Right, because there's like leather, I mean, don't use leather shoes, but I mean, most people, are you thinking that, of all the things, I'm not associating this with animal products typically. What? Ew, that's gross. Although people eat beef broth and chicken broth, and that's just produced by a boiling animal. Why is this leaking too? I'm getting really annoyed with gambling. I gotta wash my hands. This is 2 Gamblin lids that have now, they're leaking on me. Gamblin, I'm a little irritated that this is now sprayed all over all my clothes and me. And that's my gloss, my Gamvar. Gotta pause the video. This is my second one. I really love Gamblin. I love their Gamsol. I love their Gambler, but both of mine, all that after my big rant about not touching it. Not impressed. Not impressed. And these are highly recommended, and I do highly recommend them still because I like what's inside. But Gamblin, you need to fix your safety lids that are like pill bottles because they are not staying on, and now my hands are sticky and have varnish all over my clothes. It just spilled. It's literally all over my shirt. This is what I custom made, and my pants that are brand new, and all over my hands, and my sticky, and my floor, my carpet, everything. Super not impressed. All right. Overall, I would say that acrylic paints and oil paints can do the same thing. The big difference is opacity, work time, and you get a lot more blending options with oils. It blends a lot more seamlessly. That is the big difference, is the time for drying and the blending capabilities. I would say as the big standout difference between acrylic painting and oil. So if you're finding that you're annoyed by acrylics drying too fast, you're not finding that they can blend seamlessly and get to erase kind of those brush marks or those brush strokes, if you want to eliminate that, you want to look more polished, then I would think that oil painting might be the thing for you. You can lean into the longer work times and eliminate some of those brush strokes by just having more blending abilities because it's oil based. All right, my friend, that's it for this episode. The next video to watch is, can acrylic paint be varnished? If you hear from Gamblin, or you know Gamblin, or anybody at Gamblin, please let them know, or if you're following them on Facebook, let them know, show them this video, and tell them that my lids do this. What the heck? Same with this one, just did that too, my varnish. Oh, this one sticks a little bit more, but it was leaking. This one's not doing the lift off thing, but it's still leaking. What the heck? Anyways, if you're looking for anything I mentioned, if you want recommendations for books for getting started, or for your art career, or any of the things I use in my studio, my recommendations for different art mediums, things I use in my studio, you can check them out in the links in the description of the video. And they are Amazon links. That means I do get a commission if you make a purchase, but they are all things that I use myself or books that I own and have read. I only recommend things that I like and are actually good, not like half of the stuff that comes off of Amazon sometimes. I'm like, okay, that was a waste of money. But those that got these things, I'm only putting on my recommendations, my likes, the things that are worth your time and money. And your next video to watch is, can acrylic paint be varnished? You can watch it by clicking the link above or in the description of this video. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.